everyone for coming out today and to stand against the far right, against their hatred, against their racist poison and their lies. I'm really genuinely proud that so many people have come out willing to stand up against them. Against the rapist Conor McGregor, his abuse of women. Against those who try to blame asylum seekers for the problems of this government and of the corporate landlords and private developers that they represent. Against those who want to see women breed more by banning abortion rights and putting us back into the Dark Ages and putting the Catholic Church back in control. I'm proud of us all because we know that across the world these ideas, these forces are on the march, supported by the billionaires, as Dara said. We know they're in office in the White House. They're conducting a genocide in Palestine. They're knocking at the doors of power right across Europe, and in reality, many of their ideas are being taken on, are being incorporated by the so-called mainstream parties of capitalism across Europe. And that's why we're here. We're here because we know that the likes of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and their equivalents across the world will not stand up to the far right, will not be able to beat them. We know, we saw in this country in the last year how they turned on the tap of racism very, very consciously in the run-up to the local and European and then general elections. They tapped into the racism that is there within Western society because they were afraid that a non-Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael government could be elected. And so they put asylum seekers on the streets. They did it even though they had beds for the asylum seekers. We have the figures. They put them on the streets to be performatively cruel and to make a crisis so people think they're the problem rather than Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and those they represent. So it's only us, united, the anti-racists, the Palestine Solidarity, the trade unionists, the progressive parties, only us coming together will be able to stop the tide of racist hate and the far right. And what that means, it means that this is a wonderful start. Over 1,000 people, the biggest counter-demonstration we've seen on the streets. It means we have to do it again and mobilise the majority of people in the city and this country who are opposed to racism, opposed to hatred, opposed to division. But it also means, and I finish on this, that we have to build a movement that shows some of those who are marching over there who don't realise that they're marching with supporters of Hitler, of open fascists, to show them that the reason for the housing crisis, the reason for the scoliosis crisis, the reason that we don't have places for our children with additional needs is not because of asylum seekers, that the government is looking after their own very, very well. And so we have to build movements on all of those issues that unite people. And to quote Fred Hampton, you don't fight fire with fire, you fight it with water. You don't fight racism with racism, you fight it with solidarity. And you don't fight capitalism with capitalism, you fight it with socialism. You show that we have the resources for everybody in this country to have a decent life, and actually for everybody in this world to have a decent life. Well done, everybody.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Okay, yeah.